rebounds, and is that something you need from if you're going to play three guards successfully all the way? Just quickly.
Can't believe he was 1 for 5 from the three. We're 2 for 13 from the three, folks, and only have 7 turnovers, something we've been talking about. This team is they're getting better. They're doing it, but that was another rock fight. That was when you went up for a rebound, you were feeling stuff. Something in your neck, something in your back. When you were coming off a screen or you were driving, it wasn't like a clear lane. And we proved to us that in that kind of game where we're letting it go, that we could perform. Now, Nick struggled, but we all know that's one of the things he's going to have to break through. How about EJ today? Unbelievable how he played. So he's starting to make those strides. Nick's got to know. We're going to get in there in March, and somebody's going to say one thing: just go after him. Physically push him, shove him, grab him, throw him out of the way, and let's see what he does. He's going to have to perform.
Cal, when Nick got in foul trouble, how big was that stretch you got from Keon and Nate in the first half?
They were
their
really
contributions?
good. I mean, Nate making a couple shots was big. And then Keon had a quick foul, didn't with the ball, and the guys got on him. Made that dunk. He was good. Nate was fine. I mean, our guard play was good. Johnny held the fort down when we needed a blow.
John, you've got 3 guards shooting over 80% from the line, and that said, do you want the ball in Emmanuel's hands in crucial moments?
Yeah, we do. And again, like, I know Ashton went 2 for 13, but when he goes steals and he defends like, we will win. He can go 2 for 13. The only person it bothers, him. And his head goes down, and I can't believe it. I missed this dunk. Forget it. For our team, it really doesn't matter. If you defend, you get 5, 6, 7 assists and 1 turnover, and you do the rebounding and all the stuff you're doing, we're going to win. But it's hard for these kids. They're not robots. They're not machines. They have attitudes, which are, if I'm not making it, I hang my head, and they're still trying to break through that. But, it was a good effort. And again, we're saying Nick wasn't great, but he gets 14 points and 3 rebounds, and he gets a big block late with a minute to go, minute 10.
John, it seems to me you have a really unique situation this year. You've got 3-point guards. They're all pretty good. You're playing them on the court a lot at the same time. How difficult has it been for you as a coach to kind of meld them into a unit? And once they start making good decisions, how unstoppable is that going to be?
Well, I had the first 7, 8 games, I didn't do it. And I had friends of mine in this profession, Hall of Famers, call me and say, why aren't you just playing those 3 guards? Because I was trying to make sure we got other guys an opportunity. And then you just narrow in at some point and say, that's our best team. Those 3 guards and 2 bigs. That is our best team. And so you run with it. But it takes time. Plus, you don't want to leave anybody behind. You want to give them an opportunity to get in there and play and do stuff. But at the end of the day, if our guards rebound, they have to rebound. We're not going to be a great offensive rebounding team. Why is that? Come on, guys. Somebody got to know. One of the ladies would know first. But I'm playing 3-point guards. You're not going to be a great offensive rebounding team. So you got 2 guys going against their 4. Normally it's 3 against 3, 3 against 4. You got a chance it'll bounce. We got 3-point guards. So that means we have to shoot free throws the way we do, because we're going to have to make up for it somewhere. And that may be why their team's out rebounding us. Again, when you're playing 3-point guards, unless Emmanuel and Tyrese and Ashton get in there and mix it up, which they can in most games. Some games the guys are too big.
John, can you just talk about your defense, especially the last 8 or 9 minutes of the game?
Yeah, they. If you had watched a bunch of their games, the way they got back in games is shooting those threes. They just didn't make them today, and then we rebounded. So some of it was you really guarded. Yeah, they took some tough threes, but that's what they've done to win games. They've been down 9, 8, and all of a sudden they go 3-3, something happens, you miss a free throw, they make free throws, it goes into overtime, and they win. They've had a bunch of those kind of games. But we played the pick and roll a little bit different. We had to switch it at halftime because we were given layups and lobs and dunks, and we adjusted to that. But look, Auburn's, I looked at the guys and I laughed because Wiley played for me, Austin, and in the USA stuff, and he and I grabbed him. But Dowdy, I've been seeing this guy like for 8 years. And I grabbed him, and he laughed, and I laughed. I said, these guys are seniors, and they're a good team, and they're a dangerous team. They beat us down there. They beat us down there, and this was a good win for our guys.
Cal, I know you're here chasing national championships, not conference championships, but in a season where you lose to Evansville and you have a couple losses in Las Vegas. And
You know
it's
what's
been a grind.
amazing?
Does it
when
matter
anybody
to these
talks
guys?
about our season, you know what they say? Evansville, Evansville, Evansville. I'm like, are you talking about that game November 12th where EJ did not play in the game and Ashton was sick and so was Nick and we played with 2 guys with the flu? That game?
Yes.
That's
So-
the one you're
so
talking about?
All that
Say,
stuff early
can you
that's
say it
said.
for me again? Evansville, Evansville, Evansville.
Evansville. Does it, when you've gone through some
I mean, did
struggle?
we play anybody else? I mean, it's like, and hey, that's the great one that
I
they
can see.
can't be that because they lost to Evansville. How can they be any good? They lost to Evansville November 12th.
So the point was, in a season where you've had some struggle, Cal, when you've had to kind of grind it out with
Did
this
anybody else lose bad games? I just don't know.
group, I give up.
I mean, I don't know if they did. Kyle, here's what I would say. I told them after, look, I never stopped believing in this group. I said to Vegas, we'll be fine. I said it, we'll be fine. But I wasn't sure about this, where this is going. But I knew we'd be fine. We'd be a team that would be playing, and we'd be playing in March. And the run that these guys have put together, and I come back to the same thing. You got to have 5, 6 guys get 25 points in a game, and maybe multiple games. You must do that because they have to be able to go in that tournament and know I can do it if I have to. Marcus Teague, Darius Miller. I can do that if I have to. Deron Lamb, I can do it. Second thing is you got to go on a run of games because to win that thing, you got to win 6 in a row. If you haven't won 6 in a row all year, why would your team believe they can do it? So all the stuff that we're going through is good. It's not so much winning our league, as you guys know, or winning our league tournament. It is what are we learning and preparing so when we walk into March, we're ready like our teams historically have been. Evansville, Evansville, Evansville.
John, you said you said after the LSU game that Juzang, Sestina, and Brooks may how far you go may depend on those guys.
And EJ. And EJ.
What did you feel like you got from them tonight?
They're getting better. I mean, they're starting to believe. Here's the other thing that young kids, when they're in high school, they really don't need to look at a stat sheet. Why is that? Oh, they know how many they shot, how many they made, how many fouls they made, how many assists. They know. They'll tell you. Did you look at a stat sheet? No. I'm just playing for these. When you play that way, that becomes the up and down. You got to play to your training. How are we training? And then look at the stat sheet when the game ends. Second thing, it's great to have big-time goals. These kids, you know what they want to do. They want to play professional. And I urge them. That's great. We work on that. But that goal is not the game-to-game stuff. It is play to your training. You know how we're trying to get you to play. Play that way. Then you don't have to worry about the possession by possession, or if I make this shot, I got 25, or if I make these free, well, then you're not making them. If I get 2 more assists, great, you got 2 more turnovers. You can't play that way. And so we're still kind of walking through that with this group.
John, if offensive rebounding is a challenge when you're playing 3 point guards, what's the advantage and the disadvantage for your opponent trying to deal with that?
Well, the advantage is if they have a mismatch to exploit it. their 3. The good news for us is we can play Keon at the 3 because he's played there. I'm playing him at the 4 right now so that Johnny is that rotation there. But I could play him, and I did today. When I took Ashton out, I put him in and gave us a bigger team. We can do that. It becomes a chess match at that point. If they go big and it's hurting us, we can change how we play.
Did you think you'd ever see a game where Emmanuel would have 12 rebounds since you kind of ignored that? Or did you ever think you'd see a game where he would do that?
I thought the Evansville game he'd get 12. I'm going to hear about that game in 2 years from now, and I'm like, we didn't play him this year, I don't think. They played good, too, by the way. Don't take away anything from them. Evansville, Evansville, Evansville. Have fun. Thank you.